All right, so we've got the cellophane off, and looks like the book was done by both Karen Lee and Kipling West. It's just your basic kind of thin paper book that you'd get from like your Rider-Waite-Smith deck that you'd purchase, you know, for learning. This appears to be very much in the school of Rider-Waite-Smith. I do love that they chose to redefine the suits. So like pumpkins is like the pentacles. It looks like ghosts are cups. What else do we got here? Yep, so they have a little bit more than keywords. Imps are wands. So then what do they got as swords? Curious. Pumpkins. I love it. Bats are daggers or swords. So yeah, this is adorable. Whoever decided to put this together, I just am grateful because I love kind of creepy, fun Halloween stuff. And look at that art on the back here. It's beautiful. So I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to move this over to the side here. And we'll flip through and see card by card what they look like. Ace of Pumpkins. I love that. So it's October 2021 right now. I have been super busy. I've really been enjoying my time kind of working on the business and growing the business lately. I just got done doing Janesville Pride here in Wisconsin. It was my very first time ever sponsoring an event. And also it was my very first time ever making an appearance as Psychic Readings by Brandi at an event. And I actually was a resource at that event. I wasn't actually selling my products. So I was basically a metaphysical resource. The people who kind of put together that event really wanted to bring in a lot of diversity and inclusivity. And so one reason they chose October for their event is because the weekend that they chose was the weekend of the 9th. And the 11th is National Coming Out Day here in the States. So a lot of youth, when they end up coming out to their families, about 67% are rejected. And a good portion of those kids end up homeless. So they wanted to have the event in October as opposed to the June events that are pretty much kind of like really big celebrations and parties, because they brought in a bunch of organizations that have resources for to prevent youth homelessness. Oh, this is the intro card. I think I got everything a little mixed up here when I was setting up. And so they kind of put this event on. It was probably close to 2,000 people outside in a beautiful park on a beautiful fall day. And they had so many orgs there working to support the community, just so that they knew that they had people. They knew that they had, you know, a family if they needed to kind of redefine the concept of family after they came out. So I was really proud to be part of that event. It was really fun. I was super nervous because being around people, like a lot of people, can drain my energy, but I did a lot of shadow work, a lot of meditation beforehand, and oh my goodness, I was just so ready for that day, and I showed up and I did the thing. It was so fun. I met a lot of great people. I actually had an altar in my tent, and the altar was dedicated to people of color, queer people of color, who helped pave the way when it comes to kind of metaphysical spirituality. I would say like less of a colonialist kind of mindset when it comes to those things, because queer people of color have really always been spiritual warriors throughout history. history is just usually whitewashed. And so, for example, I highlighted several two-spirit people from, you know, what is now considered the United States, and how they contributed to healer work, seer work, very important things around art, like weaving. Some of them actually wrote treaties and were actual warriors. So it's just really important to remember. So yeah, I had that up, and lots of youth were really interested in learning the history. You know, many of them said, gosh, I never knew any of this existed. We're never taught any of this in school. And I said, well, yeah, neither was I. So I thought it important to kind of get that information in front of them. It was a really fun day. And then I am going to be going on a little trip with my husband this weekend. I cannot wait. He surprised me with an early birthday gift. We're going to go to New England. Always wanted to see fall in New England. I've always wanted to experience fall in New England. So I cannot wait to go. We're actually staying with a friend who has a cottage, and it's from the 1600s. It's in the woods in New Hampshire. So we're probably going to take a day and go down to Salem, do some educational tours. I definitely did my research, and because death tourism is kind of a sore subject for me, I'm not really supportive of it. I made sure to book tours that were historically uplifting, objective information about the hysteria around the witch trials, rather than those that played on the concept of evil witches that were tried and hung, because I really think it's important for people to be held accountable. And it seems like the town itself is actually very much trying to bring people into understanding that the past is not something they're very proud of. So they seem to be, of course, there seems to be plenty of kind of tourism there surrounding death tourism, but I'm just really excited to see the history and the buildings and eat the good food and see the fall colors. And we're probably going to go up to Maine for a bit and then go up to maybe White Mountain. I've already been to Boston in the past. I loved it there, but I think it's going to be a great time no matter what. I'm still doing bookings. I've been very busy because it's October, and I have been considering adding more hours on to the readings that I'm doing. So we'll see. I'm still assessing that. The holidays are coming up, and I know people like giving readings as gifts. Yeah, to be continued. I would like to continue working on my Reiki skills, so I can expand my services there. But yeah, so I'm still reading. You can still book with me. This was the Halloween Tarot, and this was by Kipling West. I hope you enjoyed the little flip through today. I do these because if folks are looking to buy a deck, they don't exactly know what that deck looks like. And you know, I'm pretty frugal myself. I don't really buy decks very often. This gives you a chance to see what it looks like.